As we head into tonight, all that rain eventually follows behind the storm, and the dry air that's been causing a lot of problems for Ian is going to sweep into our forecast, push a lot of that rain out of the way. We can thank those storms. They're going to do us a favor, push all that humidity out of the way, bring our feels like temperatures down to our actual temperatures. Moisture that we've been dealing with here in the southeast, but behind that front, lots more drier air building in. That will eventually make its way here into the Midlands, west of Branchville, and it's about to make its way over into Orangeburg County. This car reading right now 97 degrees. It's 95, 96 here in Columbia, and that's because most thermometers usually in the hood. The harvest moon here tonight, but hardly a chance to see it with as many clouds as we're seeing, especially here in downtown Columbia. Started off on the wet side. We ended things off today here on the wet side, and I bet you can guess what we're going to start tomorrow off with. It's going to be rain. Again, we're just seeing a couple of scattered showers pushing through the Midlands, some of them packing a punch as they do breach through. It's just a matter of how much longer that warmer air is going to slide into the middle of our skies, because that's going to push in from the south. That's going to melt any snow or ice. Another day of throwbacks. We're heading back to the 90s here today, but maybe not in the way that you think, probably just with our temperatures. An upper level ridge that really just brings in the heat, and it's going to be here pretty much all week long. Speaking of feels like, it felt like another earthquake tonight, two in fact over in the Kershaw County area. That track is continuing to move farther inland. Now looks like it catches a glimpse of the Midlands. Get you into the next couple of hours. We're going to see temperatures dip down into the 80s. Also showing a little bit of disagreement by how much farther down towards the south that freezing rain is going to stretch, and that warmer air from the south is going to move up. Wet start to the weekend here for the Midlands, even as we get into tonight. Still seeing a couple of thunderstorms and showers moving through. Looking here into downtown Columbia within the past 10 minutes, have seen a couple lightning strikes still flashing here across the capital city. Still not the only place to be looking at a couple of thunderstorms here, especially within the past couple of minutes. Still a lot of wet weather bubbling out of the south, making its way up towards the north. It's stayed scattered in nature, but we have seen our fair share pretty consistently throughout today. Rain totals have been a lot heavier as you get over towards the western tier of the Midlands, just south of Winsboro, measuring over 3 inches of rain. Aiken County seeing 2 inches mostly across the board, and also 2 inches over towards Saluda. As you head over towards the east, not much here in the way of rain totals, but a little bit farther off towards the east as you get closer to the coast. That's where a lot more rain has been falling here in South Carolina. To the south of Charleston, we're just shy of 5 inches, 3 inches as you head towards the north of Charleston, and of course Myrtle Beach getting above 10 inches, 11.8 measured in just the past 24 hours. As we head into the rest of tonight, still a couple more chances of scattered thunderstorms moving through. Temperature-wise, we're dipping down into the mid-60s, lower 70s, very similarly to how we did last night. Still staying cloudy if you're not seeing wet weather, and a couple of light winds. I doubt anybody will be outside tonight here with all that wet weather to feel those breezes. National setup has still kept this cutoff low here in the Gulf of Mexico. It's not attached to the jet stream, so there's nothing to move it out of the way. So that low pressure center and all that moisture is still stuck here in the southeast. Of course, that makes its way here into the Midlands. It's what we're still expecting when it comes to tomorrow. There's those scattered showers and thunderstorms here throughout the rest of tonight. It's going to be way more isolated when it comes to Sunday compared to what we saw here for today. Very much more scattered in nature. Won't really see as intense of showers or thunderstorms. Still making a return here once we get closer towards the noon hours into the afternoon here as well. But once we get to the second half of Sunday, we start to dry out a lot more, but still seeing a hefty amount of clouds taking hold of our skies. But with that said, we are still under an excessive rainfall risk for Sunday. It's a 1 out of 4, so areas that are traditionally more susceptible to flooding likely could see a little bit more ponding on the roads once we get to tomorrow. Our rain chances are really just going to depend on where you're at, and of course with that our rain totals are going to differ as you head throughout the Midlands. Most of us getting around ½ an inch of rain. This central little strip here over towards the west of Columbia likely getting closer to an inch of rain. Rain chances in the next 5 days really do start to taper off. We get a cold front coming through here for the middle of this week, pushes that low pressure center out of the way, pushes all that moisture out of the way here as well. Today officially the peak of hurricane season, September 10th, and you take a look at the tropics and it's really hard to tell. Just as quickly as we got active, we're back to being quiet. Earl has gone post-tropical. We are looking at one little area here over towards the west coast of Africa, has a 30% chance of developing in the next 5 days. 10-day forecast-wise, plenty of sunshine eventually does find its way back to the Midlands, last into that following weekend here as well. Temperatures mostly in the 80s.